So today we're going to pan roast some salmon. I guess that's everybody's favorite fish. Here I have a nice piece of salmon with the skin on, and we're going to leave the skin on. I see a lot of people taking the skin off by putting boiling water on it, but we're going to keep the skin on and make it nice and crispy. That's going to be the easy part of this video. First, let's get into making a chickpea stew. We're going to start off with some chickpeas here. I have some canned tomatoes, carrot, I have fennel, lemons, onion, garlic, bay leaf, and I have a North African spice here that we're going to use, salt and pepper, of course. So let's get started, and I'm going to kind of run through this pretty quick, just cutting my vegetables. You can cut them however you want. I'm just being a little overly precise here, even if it is home cooking. Just giving my carrots a small dice. Just small dice on the onion. Take the top off of this fennel, and I'm just going to unlayer it and give this also a small dice. Run it through my garlic. And I'll just put everything in a bowl, and we'll put that in a pot and kind of sweat it out, give it a nice color. And here I'm adding a good sized tablespoon, maybe a tiny bit more, of Ras El Hanout, and I will write that down in the description and give you exact amounts. Be sure to check that out down below. So I'm just going to cook this out until it's nice and aromatic. I'll add my tomatoes, and I crushed them by hand because I like the texture of it. You can blend them and puree them as far as you want. I like the hand crushed myself. And I'll cook these tomatoes out. And after a little while, I'll add my chickpeas and kind of mix them all in. It's a little thick here, so I'm just going to get a little bit of water and make it a little soupy because you are going to cook this down. And so you want a little bit of liquid in there to start off. I'll add my bay leaves. And I'll lower the heat, and I'll just bring it down to a simmer and let it cook out. And you're going to watch the liquid evaporate a little bit, so just keep a close eye on it. And let all those flavors meld together. And just a nice soft bubble. That's what you want. After a little while, I'll take a little bit out, maybe a cup or so, and I'll blend it and pour it back in and fold all this in. And this will just give it a little bit of extra texture, and it'll also, in my opinion, give a little bit more of that chickpea flavor throughout the stew. So here comes the easy part. Now, doing fish is not that difficult. You just got to treat it nice. What I'm going to do here is generously season the flesh of the fish and leave the skin side just as is. And I'm just using salt. Some people use white pepper. You can use whatever you want. Here I'm going to lay the fish in quite soft. You want to lay it away from you so you don't get any oil splash. You're also going to see the fish buckle a little bit, and you see there that it raised a little bit. And some people tend to smash it down. Just wait for it to relax a little bit. It'll even out, and you'll get an even crust on that skin. After a while, just feel it out. You can press it down a little bit, but don't smash it. And you'll start to see the color of the fish start changing from the bottom up. And it'll start looking white and opaque. And we're not going to mess with it. We're just going to leave it on this side and cook it probably about 70% of the way here. You can speed it up, and I'll show you how to do that. But we'll just be patient with it and just cook it the way it should be cooked. Here I'm checking the bottom to see how my skin's looking. It's looking really nice, and I'm just being patient. What I did fail to mention is that my pan is not ripping hot. It's medium heat. Now here I'm just kind of speeding up the process and getting the oil to hit the sides a little bit. And if you want, with all this oil that you have around here, you can start basting And some people like to use a bunch of butter. I don't think it's necessary. Here I'm just speeding up the process with the hot oil that's already in the pan. And this is cooking the top of my fish also. So still a little soft. That's good. What I'm going to do now is flip it, and you'll see that the skin is nice and golden brown and crispy. So now I just flip it once. I give it a couple of turns with the spoon, and I turn off the heat and let it finish cooking on the residual heat. Here I have some yu choy tips, and that's just an Asian green that I get at the Asian market. I just really like. And with the greens, same. Be patient. Just let them cook. You don't have to mess with them too much. I like putting a little color on my greens, and if you see there, you have a little bit of that roasted color on them. And I'll flip them, and I'll do the same on the other side. And you'll see the color. Here they're finished. It's super quick to do them. And I'll turn off my heat here and give it a little squeeze of lemon and a little bit of salt, and that's it. Here I have the stew that we made, some pieces of pickled fennel. I have my greens. And our nice piece of salmon there. I'll finish it off with some lemon juice and a little bit of olive oil. And there you have it. Salmon with crispy skin. Thanks for watching.